All right, party people, let's do some word problems. I'll give you a sec to read this. You can pause it if you want and read it, and then we'll talk about it. This is not hard. It's just figuring out what the problem is asking, figuring out the equation, all that stuff. The first thing is we've all been part of the Ferris wheel, I think, or a Ferris wheel in general, so we kind of got the gist of it. It says the diameter is 212, so if you imagine like the Ferris wheel, this whole thing is 212. It says the lowest point is 8, so I mean the highest point is 220 feet. I think that's kind of easy, but whatever. Anyway, the number 2 wants to know how or what time will your stopwatch be. So if it takes 50 seconds to get to the top, we're going to do 50 plus, and it says on average it takes 82 seconds to go all the way around. So I'm going to divide that 82 in half. So 82 over 2, that gives me 41. So at 91 seconds, I'll be back at the top. Oh, I'm sorry, I'll be at the bottom. And then number 3 wants to know, okay, if you take 50 seconds to get to the top, and it takes another 82 seconds to go one full revolution, how much time will it take for you to get to the top and again, back again? So you're going to be at 132 seconds. Okay, that's that part. On number 4, they're asking us to draw it. So let's go ahead and do a rough sketch here. We already said our highest point was 220. Our lowest point is 8. So that means halfway in between there, halfway in between is 114. Our first y value that's pretty clear is 50, 220, and it takes 82 seconds to complete one period. So at 132, we're back up there again. We kind of already did that problem. So halfway between there, if we divide 82 by 4, I'm going to get 20.5. And so each little tick mark is going to be at 70.5, and then you're just adding 20.5 every time. And so my sinusoidal axis is at 114. So then my next point is at 70, 114, and then 91. There we go. So it looks like I got a little cosine graph. What do you know? Boom shakalaka. Writing the equation, y equals our vertical shift, 114, plus our amplitude, so 114 to 220. That's 106. We already said it was cosine. And then if my period is 82, I'm going to do 2 pi over 82. And I'm going to get pi over 81. And then last thing, x minus my horizontal shift was 50. So that's my equation. And then the back is just plugging in numbers. So go into your y equals, and we're going to put in our y1 the equation, and our y2, this is for a different part of the problem. We'll come back to that in a second. So then I'm going to go to graph, and you might want to change your window up just a little bit because you're not going to be able, you probably won't see much on there. So here's my picture. I'll show you the window once this finishes up. So there's my window, 0, 410, 0, 2, 30, 10. You could probably vary some off of that, but that's that. So we got that picture. It wants to know, the time or my height at 15 seconds. So go ahead and plug in 15. Got that. Then do second trace again for the value. What's the next one? I think it's 75. Is that what it is? Yeah, 75. So plugging that in. And the last one wants to know at 5 minutes. Well, 5 minutes is 300 seconds. So I'll press enter and I get that. All right. And then wants to know, okay, at 0 seconds, how high was I up? So I was at 32.2. So it's kind of weird, but I guess we're loading at 32 feet. The lowest loading point is 8. One of the higher ones, it appears, is 32, or that's where we get on. And we're going down. So that's the next question of that. And then finally, the last two, this is the other part of yesterday's lesson where it wants to know, okay, what's the second time we're at 100 feet? So for those of us right here, second time we're at 100 feet, and then fifth time we're at 175. So I go on my graph and I look, I got a horizontal line there. I want the second time it's 100, so I'm going to do second trace, go to 5, hit enter again, and now I'm going to arrow over all the way to the second time that it reaches that point. Boom. So at 72.229 seconds for there. Good luck. Have a good weekend. Remember, this is not due until Tuesday. Have a good day.